Hey there, folks. 6:18 a.m., Wednesday, October 18th, 2017. Got a deposition today, and that's the second of the third three things I have to do before I can get the hell out of here. Before this body can finally drop and I get out of here. And it's like everyone around me, close to me, is gone nuts. It's the other side, screwing around with everything. I can't hardly keep the stuff off me. There's so much crap out there, you can't stop it. Not stuck in the body. So, there we go. So anyway, I've probably said too much about my private life on video, but I've met a lot of people, have a lot of friends, and a lot of people who are so strong now, they can really see well. And I don't have a email list to send them information, so I just use the internet to channel. Cheers, happy coffee. So, I've got a mediation coming up in court where I lay it out. This is all, like today, the deposition and the mediation, that's all recorded, video, audio. This is all part of the court system. Everything I say is legal information, whatever you want to call it. And I have one thing after today, and then I've done everything. I've done the minimum excuse me, of everything I have to do before this body can drop. So I don't know what happens if I get to court or not. I'm not worried about it. If I'm not here in body, I can take care of it better out of body. But everything's set up properly. I've got all my ducks in a row. So today and one other day. On the other side, Dan and I had to go a couple days ago to take care of some paperwork and meet a lawyer. And we were getting right to the location where we were meeting, and someone backed out of a parking spot, and if I didn't kick it to the side, I literally swerved out of the way and gave it some gas to get out of there, we would have got hit. Stuff on the other side trying to keep this from happening. When spirit's just released from something, it's stupid. Can it perform incredible mathematic functions? Yes. In that way, it's incredibly intelligent. But as far as understanding anything about being in a body and having a life when it's never had one, hell no. Over time, especially when you're the thing that's manipulating everything, you can learn how to manipulate things to create the experience, the process, whatever that you desire. That was the original first big male and female. But the big change is getting ready to happen, so they're freaking out everywhere. I can't keep the stuff off of me. There's so many of them, and you can only see so much when you're in a body. And as I've said many times before, but for the people who are newer coming in, if you take a tuning fork and smack it and listen to it, and you hear that beautiful frequency, that beautiful clean tone, that's like you. Okay, spirit, sentient energy. There's no body, this is clean. Then you take it and you put it in a jar of oil, what happens? That sound that goes, eew. That's what it's like being in a body, plus you're being encased in tar, you can't see. Now, the stronger you are, the more you relax, the more you get help to change your energy, to make your energy stronger, you can go through that. all these bodies have these inhibitors inside to keep you from seeing. When I do the DNA ICUC, what you're actually what I'm actually doing, among other things, is pulling that out of you. Okay, that's just helping you become more of yourself, plus putting source spirit inside you, and 20% of what I put in you stays there, and it's energy. It's not spirit. So. So it's so hard to, there's no way to see everything when you're in a body. I can relax, feel. I go inside the, flow out through myself, the part that's a field, and just extend outward and grab what I can, flow into it, and just delete it. But unless it's within range of my being able to sense it, that's all I can do. So while I'm in a body, as soon as I'm out of this body, then it's game over. But they're bugging everybody, and I can't even keep it off of myself, let alone keep it off of everyone else. And, you can only do what you can do, period. And I can do what no one else has ever done, so it's not like I'm not trying. It's rough, though. The other side is insane. Right now, it's completely upside down insane. The biggest problems are gone, but there's still issues there. So they're doing everything they can this morning and last night to keep me from being able to relax and go to this deposition today. This is very important for the court case. So they're trying to ruin that. It's not going to get ruined. So it's for those of you out here who listen to me, because you're getting ready to go to work big time. All this stuff is going to stop. I've been catching flack from a lot of people getting mad at me and everything, trying to get me mad and excited, and it ain't going to happen. When you're finally awake, and from having had so many lives, you have a certain amount of understanding that supersedes all the bullshit that gets thrown at you. When you can see, when someone acts a certain way towards you, or something happens in your life, like the car that almost hit us, when you see that and you see what's behind it, I'm not mad at the driver. I can tell you it was male and female. As a matter of fact, Deanna and I both did that. Just looked at it. It was a strong little male doing it, and then female energy around it trying to hide him. It's just the stupidest thing. And the more you do this, especially with other people, and you talk back and forth, two things happen. You realize that you're seeing something, but you're also realizing that you're seeing something correctly, because they saw something very similar, and the two of you can talk about it and understand how it was the same thing. Two people can be in a boat and go by another big luxury liner, and one person sees all the people on it, and another person sees the nice decor on it. You still saw the boat, just saw it in a different way. So, what I'm mostly trying to get out here is that people being bothered is going to stop. Okay, but right now it's a little nutty, and that's why. Actually, it's a lot nutty. Do what you can to try and check your anger or anything. Remember, when you have a small emotion, the crap on the other side that's stupid gets underneath it, takes that little ember of fire and tries to turn it into a huge torch. Into like a barn on fire, man. And they can do it easy. They can't do much, but they can do that. And they're all about to be dead. But not until I'm out of here. So, y'all just try to deal with it the best you can. But just remember, if you're aware that it's happening to you, as soon as you catch yourself doing it, then you can calm it down a little bit and put a sphere over your head to catch what's in it, and then push it away from your head before you crank up your power to try to burn the hell out of it. Will you be able to kill it? No. Will I kill it? Yes. You just do that and hurt it and you send it out. And in your mind, you just say, kill this shit. And it'll be gone. It'll never come back to you. The problem is there's a trillion of these things flying around. When you take a cloud, a large cloud, you can knock out the cloud. But if you take a third of that cloud and separate it, how many water droplets are in there? And what happens when you have 100 million clouds? So, anyway, that's the insanity that's happening right now. But and they're frantic because things are getting ready to close down. So they're going to extremes. When they went crazy trying to get this person out of nowhere, slam it into reverse, and I mean hit it, take off fast out of a parking spot. It's like, hello? How many of you do that? Get in a car, crank it up, put it in reverse, and kick it. And then the other folks, or the good help we have on the other side, went into this person's head, into the brain, and said, stop. For some reason, I got French in my head saying, s'arrête. So it was stopped, but I literally had to jerk the wheel to the left hard and get out of the way. When it comes to that kind of situation, I still have really fast reflexes if it's an emergency, but that's because it's not me, the body, it's what I am inside. Remember, none of you are what you think you are, the body. That's just the vehicle that you're in, and you're in there with another spirit, a piece of spirit that is planetary essence, that came from Gaia here, between 11.18 and 11.25 million years ago. So anyway, I'm going to get downstairs on the books here in a minute, but a lot of you are going through this. You're going to have, the other side, what's left over there. All they know is that the old way is being destroyed, and they think they're supposed to protect it. They don't understand abuse. They don't understand anything because they're brand new. That's why you're having issues. Personal relationships and everything else. They will do everything possible to make sure that you never get a chance to speak these things, to speak these words, to explain to people what's really out there. They want to keep the old way of abuse, this God thing. Oh, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, and there's nothing over there to tell them better. Well, to explain to them, yeah, but it doesn't matter. They don't want to hear it. So they come from spirit that's a problem. The spirit that released them, the piece of spirit, the singular being, spirit being, that released a third of their energy to make a whole bunch of them, they're going to do whatever it tells them to. So it's just their last-ditch effort. So the court case is in April, and I don't know. I don't expect, but I don't know if I'll be there or not. This body's dying is being controlled by what's, deep inside of me. So can I access that consciously? I can see it. But to try to go into it is hard, and there's too much of me outside of this body to just go inside and push it around. So, because it's time for me to come out. I'm going to do another video in just a minute, another one about dying. Not to worry about it. I don't think I'll do it right now, though. I'm still trying to get this other ET video out about things on the internet that show there's stuff going on that is being kept from you. There's the more real things are that I've seen on the internet about our friends coming to visit and stuff like that. They're helping us, all kinds of stuff going on. The more that I see, that I look at, it usually has a pretty good amount of dislikes on it. That's being done on purpose. They have rooms, okay? They have rooms with 100 people or more that spend the day just dissing people, I think the word is, on the internet. That's what their job is. Government employees. Your tax dollars at work to keep you in the dark, and they're all fired up. We're helps national security. We're doing it. We're the backbone of the country. That's what they think. That's what they're told. And again, it's all controlled by the other side. Well, it was all controlled by the other side, but at some point, it's just left alone. There's not enough. There's not enough stuff on the other side to be able to orchestrate anything really against whatever needs to be done, but against people's free will totally. But there is enough spirit keeping things flowing in the basic direction. All spirit has to do out of the body, especially when it's a little teeny piece of source, is to touch you, and or just kind of softly hang on your head like an energy hat, and it screw you up. It'll make you do things that you don't understand why you did it later. But the best way to attack someone who's here to help everyone wake up, and this is short term, but it's happening, is to literally go at the personal relationship first. Okay? If you're living with someone and they can run them and get them to bitch at you and drive you nuts, and then what happens when you get annoyed? They'll get in there, get underneath that anger, and turn it into a crazy storm of anger, turn you arrogant and everything else. So I want to give you a heads up. And it's temporary, but especially, y'all that I've gone into and cranked up and everything, and other people that have been cranked up by other people, y'all are strong. Very strong. You have the ability to see it and feel it, and if you fire up your energy and don't forget what's inside you, some of what I put in there, that's strong stuff. Go at it. Build a sphere around your head very carefully. Don't try to make it strong. Just put a sphere around your head, slowly move it over, hold it out like this in front of your head, look inside the sphere, look inside the sphere, see who's in it. Put everything you can into it once it's off your head. Do not do it when your hands are around your head, because you are going to feel the energy and it's going to hurt you. Like a headache, not give you, your eyes don't bleed or nothing. And how do I know this? Well, guess who did that a long time ago? Trying to get the crap out when I was fighting the original first being male and female. The male was in there giving me hell, and I fired it up and I said, okay, note to self, don't do that again. At first I thought it was his pain I was feeling, then I realized, no, that's mine. All this is new to all of us, and when we're in a body, we can't see and feel, use our abilities normally. That's part of the awakening process, and this other crap needs to be removed, and it will be. As soon as I get out of here. The animals have to go home, and these things are going to be destroyed immediately. Immediately. And then as soon as more stuff comes out of a body, here we go again. Take it out. So, creation was made through insanity, folks. The loneliness, the original first being, and they turned that into desire for praise immediately. The original first being was lonely, so it separated into two things. It separated its frequencies a little bit, so there's more of this here, more of that there, maybe even minus this here and minus that there, just a little bit. So there'd be two individuals, not one person. It made one a little bigger than the other. In size, fortitude. So anyway, that was the birth of male and female, the creation of the separation of male and female. It's important for you to understand what's going on, that's all. I'll tell you, and I'm putting this all in books. The first book has been rewritten. Blah. I had to revise it just a little bit. I didn't really rewrite it, just revised a little bit. And then the second book, I'm more thorough. The more I was in a rush because it went out in 2015, and my first separation day, getting out of the body, was supposed to be October 28th, 2015. And I was hanging on the edge, and part of Lilith didn't let me go, and because I asked her why, and she said, a day and a half, you'll know, and I did. And she goes, you don't want to leave? I said, oh, yeah, I do. I got to fix stuff. And she goes, no, you'll understand in a day and a half. Now, why didn't she just tell me? Well, they don't care. They know how it is, and they know what I am. So it's like, it'll be fine. But when we're in the body and we can't see, that's not right for us either. The original first being, male and female, would manipulate, use their angels to manipulate you. They take the angels, the original first angels would take they're almost all deleted. They take their energy, go into the base chakra, what you call chakra, the energy field, a focal point, energy focal point in your body, where the spine meets the hip. They take their energy and they go up the spine like this, like concentrating it like a laser beam, and then go up. And then you get a euphoric feeling. You say, oh, I'm in love. And then they keep it floating, or they keep it basically floating around. Every once in a while, fire it up, release it, fire it up, release it. And then when it's time for you, when the two of you have had children, then, I mean, this doesn't happen every time, but this happens a lot. Then all of a sudden, they start causing fights and issues with the two of you, and eventually you break up. And then the two people say, damn, they changed so much. You know, it was so nice at first, and then they changed. No, it was done. It was made to happen. You needed to get together to produce the physical bodies that were just right to hold different spirits that were going to have a life in them. People say, oh, nothing's that smart. The original first being, male and female, were smart. Honey, get away from my head. Thank you. She's trying to help, but I was feeling pressure right here, and it's like not a safe time. There's a lot of folks, not a safe time to do that. There's a lot of folks that on the other side. It's us when we're out of body. There's a lot that are really cool. And a lot of them, when the bodies die in all these different planets, I've said there's over 2 trillion planets with life on them. That was not incorrect whatsoever. There's 4 trillion plus. How about that? Let's knock it up a notch. There's a little over 4 trillion planets that have life on them. Sentient beings. So, as these planets, how many people die on this planet alone, and we're not a big one? Although we are heavily populated. So how many, excuse me, stupid stuff. Anyway, so how many people die here on this planet? Multiply that times, just say 1 trillion. That's how much new spirit is coming out free. Gets out of the body, comes running around and says, holy crap, where's the original first being, male and female? Where's all the other big stuff that was so controlling? Oh, it's all gone. Oh, cool, I'm God now. That's basically their concept. They're not all like that, but some of them are, and some of them are not too cool. So there's a continual feeding, release of these idiots, feeding the pool of idiots that'll come out and attack you, trying to stop the old way of abuse, because they feel it's their turn to play God. And the more you drink or get stoned or something, folks, that just you're their little, you're their little bitch. When you do that, it's hard enough to see and feel them, when you're just normal. It's insane. I had tried to help out a friend of mine. Some of his lives that he had, the bodies he was in, Confucius, okay, believe it or not, King Arthur. Who's this other guy? Hannibal. Hannibal the Great, Hannibal the Barbarian or something. He had those elephants, fought the Roman Empire, did some good damage to him. I think that I look at what happened, the first thing I think about is the poor elephants. Half of them died on the way across the mountains because whatever. Animals have been abused more than anything else, but in the meantime, we're getting hit hard. But anyway, so he's had some very strong, powerful, influential lives, but it's still just a human being. So this body he was in this time, he he was controlled real easily. And next thing you knew, he was driven nuts. He needed some help with a place to stay, so I let him in. So I talked to him and said, come on, just go ahead and come on, I'll let you in, and we'll, spend a night, and then we'll square it away in the morning. I had an extra bedroom over here. This is a pretty good while ago. And then in the middle of the night, he started shaking me, wake him up. He goes, come on, we got to go. They're here. They're watching us. They're here. They're going to get us. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? So he took off, and I'm like, great. Get the hell out of here. Then I went outside. I went downstairs, and I no longer had a sliding glass door for the back. It was destroyed. He broke it. Somehow he locked himself out of the house. So he broke that. He broke one of the taillights on my truck. He started beating on the door going into the shop. Kicked the garage door, the back of the house. He thought the FBI and everyone else was going after him if you'd see a helicopter. So, needless to say, that was the end of that. But he was being controlled. It's like that car that almost hit Deanna and I in the truck, getting ready to meet the lawyer to sign some very important paperwork. I wouldn't be mad at the driver of the car, not unless they went out the window and flipped me off, and then I give them a piece of my mind. But other than that, I saw what happened. That's one of the awesome things about waking up. But right now, it's really dicey out there, okay? The waters are very rough. So I want to reach all of you that listen to me that are aware, and let things be what they are. Anyone else listening think I'm a nut? That's cool. Love you anyway. What's important is that I do what I know I need to do. I'm not in a popularity contest. I really don't care. I'll be out of here soon doing what I need to. And if anyone doesn't like what I do when I get out of here, tough crap. I don't care. I'm doing what I know is right. I've had more lives than anyone else. I've been around before anyone else. I know what I'm doing. So it's about time that there was someone involved in helping you through your lives that didn't want crap for themselves. Not only can almost everyone not even understand this, but it's not important. What's important is that I do what I'm supposed to do. Some people call that arrogant. I don't care. Usually people who blab about other people being arrogant all the time, they're just arrogant themselves. They don't want to share the spotlight. But, this stuff happens. There's so much garbage, stupid new spirit out there that's just messing with people. It's when you see spirit hanging on someone, give them a hard time. You need to be compassionate and understand what the hell's happened as much as you can. They start yelling at you, then hey, they're turning it into a physical thing. You got to deal with it, and however you feel is right to deal with it. But that doesn't mean hit them, but it means speak your piece. But that's what's going on right now, because things are coming to a close. By the end of January, the minimum of what I need to do is done. In January 2018. So that gives me time to finish rewriting the second book, do the third book, do whatever DNA, ICUC consults are remaining. My body's tired, but man, and she's not. I've got one coming up here shortly. I'm doing 9 people at one time. I mean, in one consult. I do them individually because I want people to feel their energy, their aura. When you can feel your aura, and then you feel the energy, your aura levels moving all around, you're like, what the hell? That helps you understand what I'm doing is real. Of course, like I said, we have scientists and geneticists, and there's psychiatrists, medical doctors. I don't know how many normal, regular people like us that feed the populace, so to speak. This is, it's even in court now, what I do. I've used expensive medical equipment to prove I can go into people's heads anywhere and crank them up. That's the quantitative electroencephalogram. So the last one we did was really pour the cap they were wearing and some of the equipment they were using, especially the electrical connections, weren't worth a darn. The reading we got, when you could tell when I went into them that I did a video about it and actually threw it out there in front of everyone to see. I mean, if I don't show you this stuff, then I got nothing to hide. I know I'm real. I know what I do is real, and I've already proven that with other ones. But this last one, there was a bad connection. And if you look at the activity in his brain, from what it's showing on the graph, he's brain dead. And let me tell you something. Matthew is not brain dead. So, anyway, I've proven all this stuff. I'm just going to finish doing some more spheres, finish the books, do whatever DNA ICUCs come up. So, within a limit. I expect sooner or later this body's just going to be so wasted, so close to shutting down, that I won't be able to do anymore. So, if I can make the conscious thought process to do it, I can just do it by thinking it. I've been doing this for years. And like I said, my energy is stronger than it's ever been, but this body is dying. And I'm almost done. So anyway, those of you out there, not to try to drag on this video any longer than we need to, those of you that are close to me out there, and there's a lot of you, I've cranked up over 4,000 people total. The vast majority of them not even aware. But y'all are seeing stuff. You're becoming aware. The more you see, the more you understand yourself, and that's as soon as you understand yourself and what's around you, folks, that's power. That's your personal power. And although the products that Deanna sells at thespiritualfoundation.com, although they're really strong and everything else, you have to take the time to relax, flow inside and out. And these stones, when you buy them, folks, you have to have them on you. If you buy these things are cranked up hard, unless it's one of these real strong spheres that I make, and Deanna can make them too. We're about to make some more, actually, for her family. You can put those on the bed within 8 feet of you, and as you sleep, you're reaching out to that thing, and it's reaching to you, and you're getting cranked up. It's not like a crank up that I do on you, but it's going. That stone energy goes inside you and helps you get your energy going, and then you get away from it and it stops. It's like a massage and a muscle builder at the same time. It helps you get stronger, helps your abilities wake up, it helps your pineal expand and grow. Now, a crank up, the DNA ICUC, that's totally different. That's mega force feeding power into your body. It forces everything to wake up. It literally changes your DNA into something a little bit advanced. If you take a DNA test before and after, if you get one of these $20 tests or $100 tests, whatever, some of them I think about 3.5 or something, but it tells you, well, you probably, there's so much of the DNA is from this country. That, folks, that's not going to change. What changes is the actual DNA material. The scientists that are taking care of this out in Spain, it costs $10,000 for them to fire up their equipment. These people are at the top of the game, okay? So, we'll just say they're in the top 10% on this planet. So anyway, if you don't have an electron microscope or something better, forget it. This is not science done with litmus paper, folks. But you don't need it, because you find out as time goes on, you just keep getting stronger. You lose weight. You eat more, sleep less, and you gain weight, strength, or it takes it off of you, depending on how you're at. You feel stronger. So, anyway, those of you that have that insanity creeping in out of your life, try to relax with it, okay? And if you put a sphere over your head and jerk that out, and when you make a sphere, that type of sphere, think about if you take a razor blade and you go up to a blade of grass, to a sheet of glass that has paint on it, and you take a razor blade, put it flat on it, and scrape it off. Think of that sphere being able to do that with spirit, making the conscious, setting the conscious objective is what makes it actually happen as energy. Now, you can't do that to manifest money. There's no such thing, okay? But when you're dealing with live spirit and you're live, put that sphere around your head and think about that sphere as you pull that sphere through your head, that it's scraping that spirit out, just like a razor blade on a plate of glass with dirt on it. And you put it out here and put it in front of you, and then fire it up with everything you got. Then just say, here, take it. And I'll take it. What I am outside of my body will take it. But you can mess this stuff up, man. Those of you that I cranked up, you're strong. You're real strong. But, and usually when I crank you up, I'm cranking up your other half, too. That was important. So, anyway, there's a heads up. And for those people that just came in, there's a lot of information there about what's really happening on the other side and what's going on, who you are. It's the whole idea. Love you all, man. Have a good.